Just came from Crimson Peak. Just came from Crimson Peak. Just came from Crimson Peak. Readers, welcome to the first installment of Readus Reviews, YouTube edition. Now, for those of you who've been following me on my blog on Tumblr, or for those of you who haven't watched my first videos, you know that reviews are kind of something that I do regarding comics, movies, TV shows, things like that. Well, I figured, since it's October, and since ghosts are a thing that happen in October, and since a director that I really give a fuck about made a movie involving ghosts, maybe I should see it. So I did. So here's my review of Crimson Peak. So there's this girl named Edith, right? Played by Wasikosa, who you probably remember from Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland as Alice. She can see ghosts and shit at a very young age, and that's really important. Then, we fast forward to her being a grown-up. She's trying to publish a book, really looks up to Mary Shelley. Her dad is Bobby Singer from Supernatural. All important plot details. Then all of a sudden, Tom Hiddleston comes along. This bureaucrat from England trying to get some funding, right? And as usual, Tom Hiddleston has to be Tom Hiddleston, aka sweep up all the women off their feet. Because that's a superpower he has, even when he's pretending. Everything else I'm about to say isn't really a spoiler because it's in the trailers. They get hitched, she moves in his place, and shit happens. And when I say shit happens, shit happens. Now, I know it's bad form to merely be sold on a movie just for the sake of a director, aka my man Guillermo del Toro, who's given us classic gems like Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 1, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, Blade 1 and Blade 2, despite David Goyer's writing, which is a completely different video altogether. One of the biggest fears about how this movie is going to progress in the box office is that people are going to go see this expecting a horror movie. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's a ghost story, a mystery thriller with ghosts. And when you see it, you'll realize why. So let me break things down to you. 1. Actors and characters. As far as Edith is concerned, she was a good character. Del Toro did a good job explaining that she's this medium off the bat so that things made sense when you watched it. Then you have Charlie Hunnam, aka Jax from Sons of Anarchy, or, because this is a Del Toro flick, Raleigh Beckett from Pacific Rim. His character, Dr. Alan McMichael, was... I'd have to say his character was understandable. It was simple. He served his purpose, but at the same time, he wasn't so, under the radar to the point where I didn't necessarily notice his character. He put in just enough effort for him to be noticeable throughout the entire movie, and didn't overdo it to the point where he felt like his role was too short. Tom Hiddleston as Sir Thomas Sharp. If you were worried that since he has played Loki in 3 Marvel movies, that will be all he knows how to do in any movie outside of Marvel? If you answered yes, then you are half correct. There were definitely moments where I couldn't help to compare his character to Loki. More specifically, certain aspects with Edith's character, and the whole mystery behind Crimson Peak as a whole. Then we have Lady Lucille Sharp, Thomas's sister, who is played by Jessica Chastain, aka Grown Murphy from Interstellar, aka this bitch. Honestly, her performance was the best out of all of them. The creep factor, the serious factor, her portrayal was more of the glue than you would imagine. You would have thought that Hiddleston would have carried most of the movie. Now on to the plot. Like I said before, it was a mystery. The genre was mystery. You had to put pieces together to figure out what the fuck was going on. And some would say that it was predictable. Kinda. I would be on that boat as well. But then again, I only was able to piece things together because I enjoy stories like this. If I were to compare the plot to anything else out there, I would have to say that the plot of Crimson Peak reminded me a lot of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Yes, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I just said that. And that's not to say that movie was bad. I love that movie, which is probably why I really enjoy the plot of Crimson Peak. Like I said, the trailers try and make you think that it's a horror movie, but not. It's a mystery movie with ghosts. And when you see it, you'll probably be in the theater looking at the screen going like, Oh, that's what he meant. Yeah, I can see that. I can see the fuck out of that. Speaking of which, let's talk about the ghosts. AKA the Blood Echoes. Yeah, you fucking heard me. Just because I don't play Bloodborne don't mean I don't know about the shit. As far as the ghosts are concerned, I got exactly what I expected from a Del Toro movie. There was the creep factor, there was the visual factor, and he made that visual as fuck. I really enjoyed how the ghosts were. The ghosts weren't introduced in shock scare tactics, but you can definitely feel tension as far as like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Wait. Oh fuck! You can definitely feel that. But it wasn't shock value though, and that's what was interesting about it. With that being said, this movie fucking rocked. I enjoyed every minute of it on a story scale, on a character scale, on a plot scale, on a visual scale. But don't see this movie expecting it to be a horror movie, because it's not. And I say this for the 15,000th fucking time. Crimson Peak is not a horror movie. It's not. It's a mystery movie. If you want to go to a movie, go see Crimson Peak. If you liked Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, watch the fuck out of Crimson Peak. I'll probably post a written review on my Tumblr and do my best to make it sound less this. But yeah, homework assignment. Did you watch Crimson Peak? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.